Hi folks, and welcome to ATTRIBUTIONS Armory. So I've been staying home a lot more than normal lately, a lot more than I'd like, and I'm sure a lot of you guys can sympathize with that. And when I sit at home for too long, I start to get bored. And when I start getting bored, I start looking around for trouble. And that trouble usually leads to me breaking something. So today I decided that I want to break a piece of Level IIIa soft body armor with this here Recurve bow. So I wanted to see if modern day soft body armor that's designed to withstand handguns and shotguns and whatnot could handle something that was centuries old technology. So what I'm using today is a 64-inch recurve bow that I scored recently from a buddy of mine in a barter. And this has a W&W aluminum riser, and it has Hoyt Carbon Plus Gold Medalist limbs. And this bow is set up for 40 pounds right now. So 40 pounds is, it's not really at the top end on the recurve spectrum. I've seen ones up there in the 50 to 55 pound range, but it's definitely no slouch. So 40-pound recurve bow is enough to, hunt larger game with, and it definitely packs a pretty sizable wallop. So you can see here that this thing is definitely no slouch. I totally botched this shot right here from across the room. Ended up way low. Of course, I'm shooting with no sights, so it's kind of a there's a bit of a learning curve there and trying to gauge your elevation. So a couple of the shots hit right there. One of them went way low, and it just blasted right through this piece of plywood and popped right through the other side right there. So it's definitely not a weakling. And the arrows that I'm going to be using today are a 29-inch Easton Carbon Aftermath, and this is a 400 spine. It has 2-inch blazer vein fletching on it, and it's got a 125 grain gold tip brand field tip on there, and these field tips are actually pretty sharp. These are quality field tips. Now, before we jump in too far, please remember to give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And don't forget to visit us at ATTRIBUTIONS.com and check out our amazing citrus-powered synthetic CLP. All right, so here's the panel that I'm going to be shooting with this thing. And this is a Level IIIa. Once again, it's soft body armor, Kevlar, essentially, layers of Kevlar. And even though this thing is expired, it's actually in pretty much factory new shape. It's just been sitting in a climate-controlled storage. It has not been worn, so it's not been exposed to things like sunlight and ultraviolet light and body sweat and salts and things that kind of further degrade this type of a product. So once again, this is rated for most handguns up to about 44 Magnum, and it also handles shotgun rounds. If this fails, I don't want people to think that this somehow failed in its mission, because it's really not rated for really sharp pointed things like this. It's actually meant for bullets, right? And bullets have a lot more surface area than the tip of an arrow. The tip of an arrow is such a tiny little sharp point that actually the pounds per square inch, the energy distribution itself is substantially higher on a bow than it is on something like a handgun round, where you've got the tip of a bullet that might have 20 or 30 times that much surface area to distribute the energy through. So it says here that it is compliant with the NIJ requirements for Type 3A. It also says very specifically that this garment is rated only for the ballistic threat level stated above. It is not intended to protect against rifle fire or sharp edged or pointed instruments. We definitely have a sharp and pointed instrument here, so let's see how it does. So before we start, let's go ahead and weigh one of our arrows using this reloading scale, and I'm just going to use this little foam washer to kind of hold it vertical so that my hand doesn't really get in the way. And let's see what we've got on our total payload. Let's just call that 428 grain. Disclaimer, folks, I am not an archery expert. Matter of fact, this whole traditional archery thing is very new to me. I'm not used to shooting without sights. You know, I'm still kind of getting this dialed in. I want to go as close to natural as possible. So those of you guys that are archery experts, boy, I would love to hear your critique on my form. I will not be offended, I promise. Now, let me show you what the target setup is going to look like. All right, so my daughter has kindly and graciously volunteered to hold the body armor during this test and see what it's going to do. All right, what do you think? Are you feeling pretty confident?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's going to protect you, huh?
Yes.
Okay, she's going to hold it.
And I'm positive you're not gonna hit me in the head.
Oh yeah, well, I'll try. I'm still kind of new at all this, so, you know, let's see what we can do. We're joking, obviously. She's not gonna be holding the body armor, people. Relax, don't call family services. All right, so here is our final setup. And I'm gonna be kind of aiming for the upper half of this thing because I want to hit a part that's actually kind of touching the backing. I don't want there to be any give. You can see here at the bottom, there's some give, and I bet you that will slow that arrow down and kind of diminish some of its puncturing power. So I'm gonna be kind of trying to hit something right around in this area here, maybe down to about right there. All right, so we're gonna place some bets. All right, we've got a little bit of delicious Kit Kat and Twix for each of us, and we're gonna each place our bets. So what do you guys think? What are you betting on? You think the arrow will beat the body armor?
Definitely not if it can stop a shotgun shell.
Yeah, so if it stops a shotgun round, it's not gonna stop an arrow.
No.
That's what we're betting. Okay, so both of you guys are betting against the arrow, so we'll put it there. I'm gonna bet that the arrow will make it through. Now, I'm not sure if it really will, but we might as well make it interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this is how it's gonna look. All right, let's see where we're at. Shot one. Oh, look at that. No penetration. It did not make it through. It's stuck in that first couple of layers pretty good, but it is definitely not all the way through. Bam. Nice. So you guys won that first one. Should we put one more round through it?
Yeah, let's try it.
Let's try one more round. And of course, my guess is that this one didn't go through any better than the first one. Yep. So there we have it. 0 penetration all the way through. Body armor survives. All right, so basically the kiddos cleaned me out. They took all of my candy, and I'm feeling like that my centuries-old technology is not quite as awesome as I was hoping that it would be. I really thought that it might have a chance at getting through the body armor, but it didn't. So anyway, can I at least bum one of those Kit Kats off of you guys?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yes. And no, they did not sponsor this video, folks. I wish we were that cool. And with that, thanks for visiting today, folks, and we'll see you again next time at Attica Armory.
Yesterday, we were